So, we are now talking with
Doug McConkey, marketing manager on Need for Speed.
so about new Need for Speed game. It's called Run, and I think the main feature is that you are actually run in this game. So, how you came up with this idea?
Well, it's a classic idea, really. Essentially, the story is that you play this character, Jack, and there's a background to it with the mafia, and you have to try and basically they're trying to wipe you out. You owe the money, and the only way that you're going to settle the score, as it were, is to enter into this illegal race from San Francisco across to New York, 3,000 miles across America. So it's a sort of epic story, something that we wanted to do for a long time, and finally when Frostbite 2 technology came along, we thought this is a perfect time to do it, because it enables us to build this incredible story across America and represent the game as it should be done properly, with these incredible big expansive environments, cities, open areas, and great destruction, spectacular effects. So as you'll see, it looks incredible. So we've had the idea for a while, and finally we've got technology that we can build it on and really do it justice with.
Previous games like Most Wanted were story-based. Well, it's included some kind of story, and as I can see, the run will be heavily based on storylines. Yeah.
Well, when you say heavily based by a story, the game itself is about action, and it's about playing. It's about being behind the wheel of the world's hottest cars and driving across America at breakneck speed. But it is backed by a story, and it will lead you through the experience, and you'll interact with the story in various places.
Will there be any kind of free roaming, or it's just like linear or multipath way?
Yeah, there's no sort of free roam in terms of out the car roaming about. I mean, you'll see one or two out of car sequences, but really what they're doing is moving you from one part of the story to the next in a sort of seamless and interesting way. The majority of the game itself, as I said, is about behind the wheel, the sort of great action driving experience, driving across America and battling your way through various different intense situations.
As I might presume, the AI will be very violent with you. Am I right?
Well, there's various people out there that are working against you. So there's 200 drivers in the race, so you'll be battling with those all the way across America. The police, for some reason, don't like the idea of an illegal race, so they want to stop you at every opportunity. And then the mob now and again jump in and try to change things up a bit by trying to kill you, which keeps things interesting. So you've basically got three different types of enemy or opponent right the way through. And sometimes it'll just be one or two races, sometimes it'll be races and cops, sometimes it'll be the mob, sometimes it'll be all three, and you'll feel that your life's getting very close to the end. So it's always intense, always action-packed.
The player will be handled on the edge, like, I don't know, very a lot of intense moments, as I can predict. How many racers in the game? Will it be like constant, or we can somehow choose paths and determine how many races there will be?
Yeah, the way that the game works is it throws different types of experience at you in unexpected ways. So 1 minute, for example, you can be battling with other racers through a canyon while the police are trying to arrest you, and then next event that you're in, you'll be trying to get through like an industrial area, escaping the mob, maybe changing cars. The gameplay varies a lot, so it can be 1 minute it feels pure racing, next minute it'll feel pure action. So it's always up, and the tempo of the game is always up and down, always keeping you on the edge of your seat, but always feeling like somebody's out to get you. So that sort of pursues you right through the game.
It's action all the way, from New York to LA.
No, from San Francisco to New York. So it's right from the west coast of America, over in laid-back California, right through to New York. So it's it's an incredible experience, a real roller coaster ride right the way across. And if you love action movies, you're going to love every minute of the run.
will there be in a not so distant future a game like with a seamless world when you can sit in a car in the west coast and drive all the way to the south coast? Well, just for example.
I've no idea. It's an interesting question. So, yeah, well, we've got a game here where you can, in all seriousness, you can drive obviously from the west coast of America through to the east coast here. Through Autolog, you can see where your friends are compared to you, so you're keeping an eye on that and everybody's progress. And then also there's a thing called a challenge series, so every time you beat a stage within the game itself, it unlocks a challenge series, which are an extra series of events for you to play through and compete with your friends on. So there's a lot to it there.
Well, apparently we are not from America, but can someone from America say, hey, I know this place, I've been here? Are your maps like photorealistic or based on some real locations?
Yes, and thanks to the Frostbite engine, they'll be able to probably smash up some of those buildings as they go past them. So, yeah, definitely, it's very authentic. But as you're driving at 200 miles an hour, there's no time to pull over and have your breakfast before going on to the next stage.
And I think, of course, there will be a multiplayer.
Absolutely.
Any specific modes for the multiplayer?
No details at this point other than expect a lot from multiplayer. It's been a big focus for us, and we think people are going to be blown away with what we offer them.
Okay, I think we will just wait for multiplayer, and for now, let's watch the game.
Thanks very much.
Yeah. Particular run sequences, are they linear or it's like a free run sections in other games?
In which bit, sorry?
You can control the character.
Yeah.
Running.
When he's not in the car.
Yeah, when he's not in the car. Can you choose the directions where he can go?
To an extent you can, but I mean really the purpose of them is really to move you from one bit to another. So it could be, for example, just changing the car. So it could be getting out, and you know, they're really quite simple moments. Yeah. You know, it's not like roaming around the city or anything like that. That's not the purpose of them at all. The purpose of them is to deliver the story in a sort of, you know, interesting, interactive, and contemporary way. That's basically what they're there for. And you know, they just provide a kind of change of pace as well. So you can just go through a moment like that where you've managed to escape death, you know, by the skin of your teeth, and then next minute you might be out in the car and, you know, running away from these guys, stealing a cop car and driving off in it, like you saw when we showed that sequence at E3. But these moments are few and far between. So 90% of the game is really about, you know, being behind the wheel and driving like a maniac. That's where the focus is. You know, that's where the action is. That's where the intensity is throughout this game.